Hello, ladies and gents. This is Jamie Blosman, the host of the Femcanic Garage podcast. Welcome to the 5-part series of the dirty little secrets in the automotive and skilled trades industries. This blog series is brought to you by Chasidy Sisk Writing and Communication and Femcanic Garage. We have interviewed industry experts on topics related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're excited to share their knowledge and experience with all of you. Now let's get started. Hello everyone, this is Jamie B coming to you, and welcome to the dirty little secrets of the automotive and skilled trades industries. What are we doing right now? We have 3 brave gentlemen willing to sit down with me and have an open conversation about some of the quotes that are in the blog series that we launched last year for Women's History Month. And first and foremost, I want to thank all 3 of you for being willing to, 1, give us a little bit of your time, and 2, to be open about and have an open conversation about some of these topics. So first of all, I just want to say thank you very much, gentlemen. I truly appreciate you giving the time for this. I do want to cover a few things just so that the listeners and or watchers understand what this is and what it is not. What this is are 4 individuals having an open conversation where we are going to read one quote that we collected from women anonymously and ask them about experiences, both positive and negative, that they have had in the automotive and skilled trades industries. And we took those quotes and we provided each of the gentlemen a list of quotes that they could pick from. And there's going to be 2 that I'm going to read out loud, and then we'll have an open discussion about those quotes and the experiences that those women had. That's what this is. What this is not a male-bashing, bra-burning thing. This is about having adult, mature conversations about opportunities that maybe we could improve in our industry to make it more inviting for everyone. I want to move on to part 2 or week 2. And Brian, I think you're in the hot seat for that one. Do you want to go ahead and share the quote that you decided to pick? There were a total of 5.
Yeah.
And we asked each gentleman to just pick one. Which one did you go for?
So I went with the 3rd quote about the girl who was in tech school. So the quote says, "During tech school, my instructor constantly made comments like, 'A woman is only good for one thing.' And if a guy in class was degrading me, he told me, 'Don't worry, that wouldn't bother you if you were in a place where you belong, doing my laundry, cleaning the house, and making me food.' Like a lot of other women in this industry, I'm not easily offended, but I'd never felt more belittled in my life, and over the thing I love most in this world, no less." This is from a auto tech in Illinois, about 23 years old. So I guess I can assume she still went through it and is a technician now. I hope. But and there was another quote within the list of quotes you gave me that kind of reminded me of the same story um, that I'm about to share. So, like, it reminds me of this one story. I knew this one girl. I'm not gonna share any like identifying information, but basically, I knew this girl who was going through an engineering program at a university, and kind of the same story. She had a instructor who was, belittling her like all the time to the point where she was really questioning whether this is what she actually wants to do or not. And long story short, later she went to like a career counselor at her school, and she ended up joining this support group from Women in STEM, and they got her through a different school for her to continue like getting her engineering degree or whatever that entails. But she went to a different school where she wasn't treated like that, and she started excelling, and she remembered her passion for engineering and started excelling. And I assume she's an engineer now. I hope. But the thing is, if you're a teacher at like a specialized school like this, like, you're a mentor to all these people of all ages, in my opinion. Like, whether you like it or not, you're a mentor, and you're also a gatekeeper at the same time. So you being the only mentor and you're treating like one student like shit, that's gonna like you're supposed to be the main mentor. So that's gonna make anyone question, whether they actually still love this or not, in my opinion. And I guess it might have to do with what her support system is like outside of that school, but it just really kills me when
What
I
was your initial feeling when you read that, Brian? What was your initial feeling you got?
it really kills me when somebody thinks that there's something that they might want to do with their life, but somebody else just kind of kills that dream. Because I think we all like to think we know exactly what we want to do, and that there's nothing that would stop us if that's what we really want to do. But I think there's a lot of factors that go into um like other people's experiences that we haven't experienced that we can't really judge. Like I want to say I would do this no matter what came my way, but I haven't experienced having literally no support system, like nobody supporting my dream. I haven't experienced that. So would I really be able to just muddle through that and get through it? I don't know. But I
That's
think like
fair.
the one teacher treating you like shit is it's probably gonna be a really big hurdle.
Yeah. That's a fair point. Burl, what are your initial thoughts when you heard that?
Well, it's just hard. Honestly, it's just hard for me to kind of relate to that because I've not really been around that situation myself, or I've not created that situation. So I feel bad. I feel bad that she had to go through it. But I think that also, if you're a female and you've chosen this career field, um, it's kind of like Brian. It's sad when somebody's, you know, putting you in that kind of situation. But I would think that she's probably pretty strong minded too, because she knows that, hey, this is predominantly a male industry, and I'm not saying that she should expect it, because she shouldn't. I'm just saying, just I feel like she's probably a pretty strong individual because she
You gotta
put
have thick
herself to
skin,
school. Yeah, thick skin.
right?
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, the
Yep.
whole to Brian's point, it's bullshit. You shouldn't have to go through that. I feel really bad that she had to go through it. But hopefully, like he said, man, hopefully she overcome it, and she realized it. But it's really uncalled for.
Kevin, thoughts?
Yeah, I just think the mentor needs to be just that, just be a positive influence in her career. That the person should be leaning her towards her next phase, right? That's why they're there. That's their job, is to help people and move them forward. And I think she just needs to, I hope she was strong enough during it all and just kind of brushed it off. I hope she understood this is just one person in front of her, and there's going to be many more in front of her that could be worse than her. And it's who knows what issue it's going to be, but she's got to be a strong-willed person and to push forward with whatever career you have. So hopefully she's better than the person that was teaching her.
And I'm just curious, if you were a student sitting in that class and, you know, there's who we are now with the life experiences we have. And then there's the 20 something version of us, right? She was 23 years old. If you were sitting in that classroom and you heard that instructor say that to her in front of everyone, do you think you would have said or done anything?
No, I know I wouldn't have. I
I
would have
was
been
dreading that question.
yeah, I would have been intimidated. Nowadays, no way. I wouldn't have let it happen. I wouldn't, if I saw it happen, I would have shut it down. But back then, I would have thought this is the person who's going to get me to that next level. And I would have
Yeah.
hoped I had somebody there by my side to say, no, don't listen to that person. Don't listen to what they're saying and just do you and get and move on. But yeah, back then you're impressionable, so it's tough.
Yeah, I
Burl, I
mean,
saw you come off or go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
oh, I was gonna say, well, number one, I was kind of a different person back then than I am now, so I was a little bit more of an asshole. But the other thing is, we're all in the same class. We're all like equally, well, maybe not equally, but we're all trying to survive, and we all have the same goal that we're trying to not compromise. You know, but I think there's so many factors on top of that that would have worked against the one or two females versus the rest of the dudes, because there's a factor that we're all trying to survive and get through this and accomplish what we came to do. But there's also I mean, it's just like high school, like the group mentality is so hard. It's so easy to fall into, when one person's getting shit on who's an easy target. And, let's face it, the one or two female, they're always going to be the easy target once they step into that field. And like, I actually, like, I kind of barely knew her, so I don't know what she's actually doing right now. But we're talking about being thick-skinned, like what it takes to get through in this field, which is all true. But I think the point that we're trying to address is like the things that we think should change in this industry, so that not everyone has to have like the thickest skin to survive. Because just like looking at the fact that there's probably a bunch of dudes who are not thick-skinned at all that are still thriving in this industry, like a few, but they exist. Whereas females, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think any female can make it through or survive without having like the thickest skin in the universe, like that proportion is off.
No, I'm following you. And Burl, I wanted to get your thoughts around that question. What do you think you would have done then?
It's kind of hard to say until you're actually in the position. So I don't know if I would have said something just at that age again. Now we're talking about a long time ago, so I really got to think back. But I think at the very least, I would have pulled that young lady aside and said, "So hey, listen, just prove yourself. Prove that he's wrong. This industry you want to be in, y'all have to prove yourself. You have to get through it." I'd probably would have back then would have been more of a conversation like that, as opposed to you mentioned earlier with our experiences we have now. Well, I would have probably called him out before he finished the sentence. Now, it's a little different scenario. But if you're looking at it back then, I think I certainly would have said something to her personally. Just say, hey, just prove yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that mindset I think would go away, and it'd be almost like, I'm gonna prove you. The things that you said what I need to be doing, I'm gonna prove to you that I belong here. And I'll just say it's not just with that specific uh, question, and I'm taking it kind of to another level. But you fast forward to today, the technicians that we need today, not just technicians, office staff, estimators, CSRs. If there was ever an opportunity for women to get in this industry that wanted to be, this is the time. And I can say that anybody that's naive, or anybody that not even really naive, but someone that has those kind of thoughts, I mean, that they're not, that's going to affect their business anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I would think that right now is the best time ever to get involved if you're a female and you want to do it.
I couldn't agree with you more, Burl. I mean, it's there's so many opportunities, especially the whole industry is seeing this evolution from mechanical to truly STEM and engineering and programming, and just a huge shift that's happening. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Thanks for watching. By being open to learning more about these topics, you are fueling a movement that creates a safer and more inclusive environment for women in our industry. And for that, we thank you. It's up to all of us to keep this conversation alive. The only way to rid the industry of the darkness is to shine light on it. The entire 5-part blog series of the dirty little secrets of the automotive and skilled trades industries can be found on ChasidyRaySisk.com and Femcanic.com. Until next time, my friends.